Hello, hello. You have been drafted onto Griffonian Empire, and you don't know what to do. Don't worry, I'm here to help you as best as I can in as little time as I can. If I'm on your team, you should ask questions, right? Direct them to Orbital Panda. I'll answer them. Empire's one of my favorite countries, so I'm always happy to help. Right. Conceptually, what is Empire's job? Let's think about this. Empire's job is number one, big industry and scale. And number two, use big industry to do things. Number three, what things? Yeah, and then you ask, what things? And number three is tanks, inf, air. Air, some navy. In that order. So let's talk a little bit more about why Empire does these things. Empire, number one, gets a big industry because they start off unified with a fair number of civilian factories, like 50. They have a similar number of civilian factories as Wingbirdie. Empire has access to a fair number of construction speed modifiers, and they also have access to this prepare for war, which gives them, well, it says early mob, but it's meant to give them war eco. And point of Empire is to use this in conjunction with its modifiers that they get in Skyfall here, 10% cap here, 10% cap here, for advisors, for example, here, 5% cap there, and through other modifiers to create a gigantic industry and a very efficient military factories. So that is how you get the big industry, more or less. Empire also has 2x 100% industry buff here, and they have a 1 times 300%. Now this is fantastic. All right. So that's just a brief introduction into how to get their industry scaled. And what do you make? Tanks, Navy, Infant, Air. Okay. So tanks, well, you have a great MIO here with standardized production. This is a fantastic MIO for medium tanks, light tanks, and yeah. If you want to make heavy tanks, my recommendation is the Super Heavy Tank Designer. This tank designer is also fantastic. It gives you a lot of great things inside the tree. You can read it for yourself. That's tanks done. Some Navy. I have a Navy guide that explains how to create the Empire fleet properly. But basically, what you want to do is you want to grab this tech right here, put SHBB armor on battleship hulls, and then have all of the Kriegsmarine spawnens, no, Kaiserliche Marine, all of the spawnens, you want to change the spawn-in templates so that they are using maximum IC. Again, I'm not going to explain it properly. I have a video just shows you how to do it. Okay? So that's the Navy. Infantry, pretty simple. You make 30 whiffs. You go here, you make this a 30 whiff, you put in some support companies like this, and you put like AA or something, you fucking save it, you spam those out. You make like, I don't know, 60-ish. Should be good. Depending on the faction, you might need more, you might need less. And then air. Air is only a thing if your faction really needs help with the air war, and your faction determines, or you determine that air is what you need to actually win the game. More IC on the ground isn't going to win you the game. More IC in docks isn't going to win you the game. You need fucking air. So how do you make air? You license the changeling plane and then you build it yourself. Do not license the Jur plane if you can get away with it. Because the problem with the Jur plane is that they do not have swarms in the sky and they don't give you an IC reduction, so they cost more. Meanwhile, changing planes have swarms in the sky, which means changing planes are cheaper. And that's why you want to license from them. Alrighty. Let's talk a little bit about Focus Path. Focus Path, you want to do Expand Our Shores Day 1, and then you want to save up enough PP for Partial Mob. So, yeah, you want to do Expand Our Shores, then you want to go here, grab your Partial Mob, and then you want to go here and grab the Imperial Coast after you got the Partial Mob. You have to be very careful when coordinating with your faction not to spike World Tension above 20, because you know what happens when that happens? It doesn't change it. more than 10% world tension. Already, you don't want to spike it above 10, but 20, where's the 20? This, join the UPA, which isn't great. And this one's 40. Wait, yeah. So nowadays, it's not that bad to go up to 20% world tension because Stalingrad's war eco isn't 20% anymore, it's 40. I will say that you still want to be careful with how you play the world tension. So discuss with your faction. When it comes to research, your main goal is to get industry tech because this will propel you forward. When you're making tanks, well, tank changes are happening month to month, week to week. So build a meta template. If you don't know what a meta template is, just ask around. People will give you answers. But yeah, build a meta template for your tanks. In terms of your industry, you want to be doing tools. You want to be doing concentrated, unless you're completely clueless. If you're completely clueless, do dispersed. But if you have any idea of how to play the game, do concentrated, and then do construction techs. I should mention that you do get these 2 times 100% industry bonuses here, and you get a 300 times bonus here. So that is up to you on how you want to use those. In my opinion, the best way to use them is to use 100, 100, 300. Alternatively, you can put them 100, 100, or you could even do something like 100, 100, and then put the 300 somewhere. I like doing it this way because it's very resource efficient. Instead of spamming out a fuck ton of mills and running into resource issues because you run out of resources on the faction, you can instead go down here and just have a ton of production efficiency, and it magnifies your output modifiers as well. But I'm not here to say that that's the only viable option. I'm pretty sure doing construction techs is also pretty fucking good on Empire, so up to you. I would recommend using the tech like this. Alright, back to focus order. This, and then you go down this. Either Archon or Duchess. I would recommend Archon because Archon gives the faction more resources because Duchess bypasses state elos and you don't get the bonus. Archon does allow you to get state elos, which is very, very, very good. So I would recommend you do Archon. If you have a specific build and you want to do Duchess while you're watching this video, you don't need my help. So go down here, get Archon, grab this literacy campaign first, then do your war eco, then go all the way down to fund the Southern universities. Or for Vizian cadet schools, I prefer Southern universities for the stability and for research speed. But don't get it twisted, cadet schools is very good. The XP and the extra doctrine, useful too. After that, you want to start working towards your Skyfall bonuses. So, as you can see, you do not start the game with Skyfall, you will have to take it. And whenever you join the war, you will be able to occupy Skyfall. And once you occupy Skyfall, you will be able to do these focuses. This is an insane bonus. This is insane too. You want both of them, 100%. And now, maybe you're wondering, wait, what about the Navy that I have to do? Right, so you want to do Kaiserliche Marine a year before you need it. So if Jur is joining in June 1010, you want to have this focus done and dusted by like March 1009-ish. So by the time April 1010 comes around, your focus finishes and you give yourself some wiggle room to like position your fleet where you want it. So always have this done a couple months before you will need the fleet. A year and a couple months before you need the fleet. And you also have to time your research around that. So it's optimal to just grab this research to have it finish like a couple months or even days before Kaiserliche Marine finishes. Like the spirit times out, right? As long as you have all of the battleships ready to go, you're fine. If you want to do a naval empire, you do this earlier, right? And then you can start doing your navy tree, but please don't do navy empires if you're watching this video. Also, this Imperial Coast focus is very useful because Nova bypasses this focus if you do it for them. And that's very nice. You save them 70 focus days and you also give them 4 civs. Very, very nice. Good. Base focus is very nice, very very good. Minus 5% production cost on all tanks and trucks and mech. Very very good. But these are better. So do his Skyfall things first, do these things first, and if you'll eventually have time to do this, you should get around to doing that. There's also a lot of really good modifiers at the bottom of these trees. For example, this one just gives everyone stats. This one kind of shit, but these ones are pretty funny. Look at that. This one's pretty nice. Just give you some recruitable pop. This one's good stats. 5% div attack. Very nice, very nice. At the bottom here, the Rising Empire gives you another 5% recovery rate, 10% war support and shit. Pretty good, pretty good. I'm pretty sure a lot of these bypass, but these are all basically war goals. So like, it really doesn't matter too much. Um, you will end up in a situation where you have to build up these infra tiles. You can wait until later because you have things that spawn in infra, and it's more IC efficient to build later infra levels than earlier infra levels because infra build allows you to build other infra faster. Day one, I would recommend you put all of your civs building in Rottenstadt because once you finish this focus here, expand our shores, you gain this modifier, which decreases local construction speed and increases local factories. Unfortunately, infrastructure isn't any better. So now you're just building expensive infrastructure if you don't build it inside it day one. So build as much as you can inside it day one, and then, it sucks that you then eat a minus 30% construction speed, but it's still worth the building here. And yeah, that's about it. If you don't understand how the super industrial zone works, basically you take the number of factories in here, multiply by 1.5. So for example, you have 2 docks here. These are the only 2 docks in our country. But here I have 3 docks because it's getting multiplied by 1.5. That's how that works. And yeah, these are all the basics for Empire. Not much else to it. I guess if you want some advice on Navy doctrine, I would say go Fleet and Being and then go left just for more battleship org. It's pretty nice. But other than that, not much to it. Uh, go make a big economy, start building mills in 1009, either somewhere between like March 1009 and like August, September 1009. When you start milling kind of depends on your research and kind of depends on when Wingbirdie and Jur need your mills. Like when Jur needs the mills and when Wingbirdie's joining. But doing it in April 1009, May 1009, very safe bet if you just do it every game at May 1009. I would recommend that you have a bunch of converts, like 30 whiffs, training up, have them all be regulars, and then you can convert those into tanks. Give some more tank stats on the vision because they're trained. But yeah, other than that, that's about it. Good luck, have fun.